Hello, welcome. My name is Howard Yu. I'm Professor of Management and Innovation here at IMD.
And my name's Ben Bryan. I'm a Professor of Leadership at IMD, and I'll be working with Howard on the Strategic Intent Program. And Howard, just tell us a little bit about how the Strategic Intent Program has come together and what people can expect.
Yeah, one key element that I observed is the most effective leader are the one who recognize what type of world we are living in so that they can capitalize the maximum opportunities out there and also buffer yourself against the worst, whether it's for yourself, your team, or the rest of the organization. So the way we architect the program is right off the bat, we try to give you an outside-in perspective so that we can suspend our judgment, whether it's from your sector or from your functional area, in order to identify the key trends that will inevitably impact UCB. Now, obviously, understanding this key trend is only the very first step towards becoming more strategic. In the end, strategy is about making tough choices. And in doing so, we need to arrive at a shared viewpoint. So this is why before you arrive to this program, there would also be a strategic narrative exercise. You're going to identify what are the critical priority for you, and we're going to pair you up with a colleague of yours so that you can really bounce back with each other to identify where are the conflict and how can we arrive at shared viewpoint in order for the enterprise to make critical trade-off and achieve the 1, 2, 3 key element towards success. Now, of course, we can talk about strategy all the time, but unless execution is right there, nothing will come to fruition. This is why later on, we would also describe and discuss about the challenges on strategic implementation. We'll give you a tool around agility, discovery-driven planning, so that you can actually generate real-world evidence when data may not be completely available. Obviously, all of these are asking you to grow as a leader in order to lead the company differently, which is why in the conversation, you're going to see a lot of strategy and leadership discussion going hand in hand as well. Ben, how does the leadership element looks like in the program?
Well, it's as you say, Howard, it's all about learning to adapt. It's adapting the organization, but it's also adapting as a leader. And how do you change and adapt to the different situations that you're in? You've got to where you are today as leaders because you've been really successful, and those patterns of success have taught you some scripts and routines that you draw on regularly. So we're here to question those scripts and routines and challenge you in terms of which of those are still successful and effective and which are not. And in order to do that, we need to go deeper. We need to look into kind of what are the deeper assumptions and archetypes and habits that underpin the certain leadership behaviors. And to do that, we need to look at your resistance to change. We need to look at your defensiveness, and we need to provoke you a little bit. And if you're thinking right now that, you're not a very defensive person, we'll be saying, well, you're probably in some kind of denial about your defensiveness. All senior executives are defensive. We have to be defensive. So then we'll actually take a look at your leadership in its context, and we'll look at the environment you're in and the complexity of the environment. A lot of leadership tries to give people linear models or toolboxes as to how to fix a certain situation. At this level of leadership, these sorts of tools are not going to be so effective because it's just too complicated. Cause-effect relationships are layered into patterns and so on. So what we need to do is understand some of the patterns in the organization that your leadership can affect and change and shape. And in order to do that, the leadership work is quite tough. So we need to keep bringing you back to purpose, to keep you being more aware of your resilience and what triggers your resilience, how you're able to rebound from adversity as quickly as possible, and at the same time maintain your authenticity. So these are the key elements of the leadership part. But if we were to summarize the 4 key elements of what this program, what's the DNA of this program? 4 things. Howard, what would you say is the first thing?
I think These days, the most effective leaders are deeply curious. They are curious not just about their own industry, their own sector, but they expand their repertoire outside as well, so that when they face a new challenge in their own work, they recognize it happened elsewhere already. They see, oh, it's one of those, so that they don't get frustrated and frightened, but in fact, there is a methodological approach towards problem solving. So I say the first thing is being deeply curious about the world.
And I would say that the second thing is then building up a community, a trusting community that can challenge and provoke each other. Question the curiosity and the thoughts and the processes and the hypotheses that arrive out of that curiosity, and pull it apart and really being able to challenge and question each other.
And the third element in the program is around this real-world application that you're going to have. All of these sessions you're going to have essentially give you framework and tools so that you can apply to your daily work. None of these applications would be homework, but in fact, it helps you to accelerate the agenda that you already have through your day job. And so you all going to work as community of learners to try new way to lead and think along the way.
But that community of learners is going to require some commitment from all of you. So the fourth DNA of this program is about commitment. And it's a commitment to a journey. It's not just a commitment to an odd session and a bit of content here and there. It's a commitment to building up over time to your colleagues and to the content, to actually making significant shifts and changes in UCB. So committing to the journey, which starts before the end of this year and goes right through to the end of March next year, is the space which you need to be part of if you're going to be on this journey with us.
We're so excited to be working with all of you in the coming months as well.
Bye for now.